It's quite funny. It's quite, you see, a lot in this, we're in dry season, and a lot of people currently are not producing any crops. They're not producing any food because there's no water. But there are few people that have managed to be able to create their boreholes okay, we know the way electricity is in Nigeria. Like in my village, in my small village, we only have electricity maybe 4 hours. When there was petrol, we have electricity 4 times in a week, and 4 hours in a week, as in 4 hours. A day is 24 hours. Multiply by 7. So in my community, they give us 4 hours electricity. And so it means if you are doing irrigation in my community, it's either you are using petrol to pump your water. Like for instance, on my farm, when I run irrigation and I use petrol to pump the water. Every day when fuel was 160, 170, I will use about 3,000, 4,000 petrol to run the farm and a submersible borehole. So now that there's fuel scarcity, initially I was angry that the boys did not quickly resume, that they did not come back, and I can't start anything. Since January, I've been waiting for farm workers. February is gone, and now in March. But you know something? Until today, somebody pointed out to me and said, "Look, it's the boys that did not come early is a blessing to you." I said, "How?" He said, "Do you know how you will have run around for petrol and everything now that there's not even no petrol?" What in essence I'm telling you is that right now I know what the other farmers are feeling, as in the farmers that are doing irrigation. Irrigation means finding some alternative way to pump to water your crops. It means we are using petrol. We don't bother much about it because initially you can easily go to the filling station and you get your petrol and you pump your water and you are good. But now, as I'm speaking with you, imagine if I've planted 2 acres, 3 acres of plant, and now there's no petrol to get water to them. This is the way farmers make losses. So that is why this is the way farmer makes losses. And I know right now, as I'm speaking with you, I know a lot of farmers now that are already, some that are struggling. Okay, they are targeting the dry season, they want to plant and everything. And at the end of the day, there's no petrol to continue the production. It means a huge loss. It means a huge loss. I did not see. I've been going around the border town, moving around, running around because I want to produce. Because this is the time we're supposed to produce before the farm workers messed up. And now see the other one, the petrol coming out. So there are a lot of challenges in agriculture. But believe me, one need to get prepared for it. Like the other time I was telling people, you should not use borehole. People will tell me they want to drill borehole for irrigation. I'll say no. If I know my experience, what I have now, I will not use a borehole to do irrigation. Borehole is not economically viable to do irrigation. It is better to go for dam, create a mini dam or create rain harvesting or whatever. It is better. It saves you cost in rain harvesting and other thing. You will not use more petrol as we are using in a submersible pump that you should run about 5,000 watts of petrol every day before you can pump water, 30,000 liters of water. So there are a lot of things you need to learn, you need to understand before you come into the farm and join us. Because see, that's why you keep seeing, it looks like there are plenty scammers on the farm or whatever. Most of them did not come. They did not have the intention of scamming. They did not come out with the intention of they want to scam you. No, people did not come to the farm to scam. Like the HO con guy, that I thought I saw in paper the other day that they are looking for him, and you see, I did not comment because I've been there, I've been in that situation, I understand what it feels. Let me tell you what happened. People go online and go on paper and do all these calculations about the money you will make when you farm. As in, imagine somebody told you you're going to make 7 tons per hectare on a maize farm, and you calculate, okay, if a ton is selling for 5,000 naira, or if a kg is selling for 550 naira, multiply by 7 tons, you calculate the money. But the fact is that the person that wrote something for you online did not do the practical. Because meanwhile, in the real sense of it, farmers are not making 7 tons per hectare on the farm. It's just a write-up. They are making 1 tons per hectare. They are making 2 tons per hectare. So you that you are just coming newly, you just base your calculation on what you read online. And because of the Nigerian system that did not allow us to share our failures, as in, if I come online now and say, guys, I did this project and it failed, everybody will start shouting, she's a failure, she didn't know what she's doing. If you know you don't know what you are doing, why are you on farm? But if you allowed everybody, if there's a freedom, okay, if you sorry, can you next time learn from your mistakes and everything, but it's not like that. And I know there was a guy I just find out I was not seeing him online again. And I just send him a message. Hello, hope you are good. I'm just checking on you. I do that with my friends on Facebook. If I don't see you over a long time, I'll just send you a message. Look, I'm just checking on you. So he replied me. They said, thank you. He didn't know that actually he did a project with some people. He did a project and the project failed. And because the project failed, I know the challenges he must have been going through. I understand they will have been disturbing him so much. So he couldn't even come online again. And because if you dare write anything online, people will believe you owed my money, you scam me, you do this, you do that. Because they don't allow us to share our failures. And meanwhile, it is when we share these failures that you'll be able to pick points, that you'll be able to learn from it. You that you are just coming, or somebody else that is just coming, you'll be able to learn from the failures we are sharing. But when it's like the moment you, like the HOCON guy, I was trying to analyze the HOCON. HOCON is a guy that came to, I've never met him, I don't know him, I've never communicated with him, but I'm just saying this. Now, HOCON, about sometime last year or 2 years ago, he came up and thank you. He came up and he said people should contribute money. He said people should come for maize and they should invest and we give them 50%. See, what I studied with the guy, I don't know him. I wrote about it on my timeline then. I said, this is not possible. But I know it's part of these people that have read so much internet and believe this is how it is done, you know. But you know, then if people like me are telling him anything, who am I? What do I have? How many hectares of farm do I have? So you understand what I mean? See, I'm going to mention this other guy too. We are now friends. Redson. I remember when Redson too wrote something, and I love Redson came out and confessed. I said he made mistakes. Let me give you an idea. In 2017, when I saw Redson's write-up, I just like the way I did with the HOCON, I picked the picture, I pick it up, I wrote it on my timeline and said, this is not possible. But some of his followers then, they came to meet me and they started, Redson, that's Nigerian Agricultural Group. People now came and they started fighting me and everything and said, if I don't know how to farm, why am I saying that? I'm a failure, whatever. Sometimes I stay and fight. Sometimes I just let it go. It happens that way. Now, after the fight, years after, it was even during that time, you know, the vice president went to their farm and everything. It was like one woman even came to me. The woman came to me inbox and sent me and said, see, you said Redson did not know what he's doing. See, he gave me so percentage. You understand? To spite me. And I said, congratulations, madam. So the woman reinvests his money. See, Redson did not know this is not the way it works. It was a big mistake. The same way I'm right now saying HOCON, I think he made the same mistake. It was years after. It was a year after Redson, when he realized his mistakes, he was a strong, see, I respect him for something about that. He came up, even called me after, and we chatted about it. Because then it was like a fight, and you know, but people don't really understand. I told him, see, it's not because I want to bring you down then or whatever, but it's because I've been there, I've made those silly mistakes, but it's just because maybe the voice is not really coming out, or people believe it's because she didn't have money, it's because she's not doing a big farm. So now we realize, even right now, Redson is one advocating, telling people, no, you can't do this, you can't get this on farm, don't let them, you know, because he has learned, but he learned from his practical experience. But see, if they have allowed us, I love the way he's now telling people, don't do this, don't go and copy me. If people have allowed, assuming that time when I was talking, everybody is always listening, people are listening and say, okay, what exactly is your observation, or what exactly, you understand, a lot of money will have been saved with some other people too. Now, okay, HOCON I was trying to analyze. Sorry guys, HOCON I was trying to analyze. I saw people were being, some people have been calling him scammers, or like I said, I don't know him. I've never communicated with him. I've never, even when he came out, when I saw his proposal, I put it on my timeline. I said, this is not going to work. This is not possible. You know, how do I know? Because see, like I was using maize as an example. Everybody will tell you will make 7 tons, apart from in my book. And I told you, if you use my book, I wrote a book, 7 tons per hectare. If you don't follow everything to details, you will not get the result. And I even said, I've not even gotten to 7 tons. I'm still at 5 tons per hectare. So to let you know, it's not something you get in a day. Now, going back to the HOCON, the guy initiates and he believes. I think he believes if you make 7 tons per hectare and having a large hectare of land, we make the money to quickly come back. So he was telling people he did, and then he did a lot of. He did a lot of advert on buses in newspaper. You see, as he was spending, farmers don't make much money as the way they are spending. So I know he's already losing. And he kept advertising. All those money is from the investment. He was advertising, calling more people, this and that, and he started a farm. And you know the funny thing, he started a sweet corn farm. After some time, I went to Shaki one day, I saw their buses, I saw their vehicle, and they were now advertising, come and buy corn. This is where he got it wrong. If you're setting up a big farm like that, an acreage where people are putting millions, you should have done your own work well. Not to expect to be selling in kgs, as in selling 500, selling 1 kilo, 2 kilo, 3 kilo. I expect maybe he has a company you want to give it to, as in if you want to plant a large scale, you should have worked with, you should have worked with a company that will take it in bulk. And the money can quickly come back. Not you want to sell 500 or 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg. Not for that kind of acreage. I could afford to sell that because I don't even plant corn almost 1 hectare. I only plant like quarter of an acre of a corn. So if I'm selling per kg, I can still afford to sell it. And even at that, me that I'm not selling on a large scale, I've made arrangement with my team. We have a cooling system now in Lagos where when we harvest in bulk, we take it there, and from there we can sell out in 1-1 or in 2-2 instead of just packing it blue to the market and then the price will drop. Now going back to H.O. I'm just analyzing how the guy make mistakes, and then at the end of the day it took a lot of staffs, a lot of workers. I'll give you one instance. It's not the way you employ people to work in a normal working environment that you employ people on the farm. The people on the farm should be able to account or justify what they are producing. If you cannot make them be quantifiable, quantification means, okay, if I employ 10 staffs, this is my expectation. Okay, you get 10 staff, you are paying them 30,000 or 50,000. That is 500,000 in a month. Now multiply it by 1 year. What are the quantity of things? Is it possible by the time you do your harvesting, your calculations? You know, farmers don't do calculations. We don't. You understand? When you finish your calculations and everything, and you cut it off into. And you try to, sorry, I'm not an accountant. I'm just trying to envisage what I feel on the farm. So, and you separate that into, for instance, you are having 10 staffs, you are paying them 50,000 naira in a year on 12 months. You multiply this, you have the money. This is what is going to staff. This is what is going to machinery. This is what is going to this. Machinery fee, for you to be continuous, machinery fee will be spread over like 5 years or 6 years. The staff money is continuous, you are paying that. So whatever you are producing at that moment should be, especially since you are going on a large scale, should be able to justify their monthly salary. Because if you cannot, then you are running at a loss. It's like you are taking from the investment money to pay staff. You are paying your workers from the investment money and you are not recouping anything. I think those are the things that affect the HO con guy. And then their expectation, harvest on the farm was not met. I believe their calculation was going for maybe 7 tons. Some people, I remember in the Redson case, Redson was saying they are going to use a seed that will give them 21 tons. And that was what he read, and that was what they were working towards. And I said, it's not possible. My reason for saying it's not possible at that time is that, look, it's not only the seed that give you your harvest. It's not only the seed. Your soil must be properly taken care of. It's not about getting fertilizer, getting NPK and whatever and just pour it into the soil. No, there's something we call soil management. I'm not discussing. See guys, I'm trying to analyze HO corn and I'm trying to tell you, okay, these are things that happen on the farm. So it is not the soil. So I know if you buy a seed and they tell you the seed is going to yield 100 tons per hectare. It is, if you pay that on tons that is supposed to yield 100 tons per hectare and you put it into a soil that is not good, it will not produce anything. Despite that your seed is expensive, and this is what they said. Yes. So in farming, it entails a lot of things. It's like you want to build a house. Somebody now tells you, okay, if you want to build your house, you need 1,000 blocks, as in normal, you know the block we used to build it at, you need 1,000 blocks. Then you buy 1,000 blocks. You thought once you buy the 1,000 block alone, your house is ready. No, you still need to buy cement. You still need to buy, when you even finish building, let's say the block and whatever, you raise up the house. What of the maintenance of the house, in the plastering, the ceiling, the logging, to make the house a complete house, there are other materials, ingredients, equipment, things that you will join to it. So this is where a lot of people make mistakes on the farm, as in they told you. Most people now, when they call me, they say, can you give me, I want a good seed that will yield 10 tons or 20 tons per hectare. And I keep telling them, it's not about the seed. Seed alone cannot give you results. They are complement, they are component of the seed that will give you results. So what I'm saying, those are the mistakes the guide did. Like I keep saying, I don't know him from anywhere. I don't know him up to now, except from pictures I read or stories I read. So, and it happens to a lot of them like that comes and in agribusiness investment. The moment they come like that, I know this person I've read so much. Most people did not intentionally go out because they want to scam people. No. Though there are people that want to scam. Yes, there are people that really come out with the intention of scamming, but a lot of people, okay, I use myself as example. In 2014, I called on people and said, come, let's do cassava. I have read so much online, I've never planted then, okay, 2012, and I called on a group, I said, guys, let's plant cassava, let's contribute to plant cassava, and at the end of the cassava, I'm going to give all of you, sorry, okay, I don't have, I told them at the end of the farm, I'm going to give them 100% returns. You can imagine that. I promise 100%. Now, it's because I read online that, okay, you make 30 tons per hectare from cassava. Meanwhile, by the time you get into the farm, what the farmers are making is like 3 tons or even 1.something tons, 1.9 tons averagely. That is what the farmers are making. But you see, I based my calculation on 30 tons per hectare, and by the time I got in there, I've committed everybody's money. It's like, it's messed up, it's flopped. So that's why most time, and Echokon, like I was saying, like it was at Ofiki or somewhere else, he did a farm, they did the farm, they bought some vehicles, like they bought some vehicles for mobility and whatever. See, all those vehicles are, how do I say it? They are fixed capitals. And meanwhile, they're already spending from the I'll be there, honestly. So all those vehicles they were buying are fixed capitals. So they're already spending from the investment money. But he doesn't know, because as far as it's concerned, they will make the money back from the harvest. I'm just trying to analyze for you guys to understand how the system is working. So by the time they were doing, I know it's going to loss. From the day one I read that thing, I know it's running at a huge loss. But he didn't know. I even learned they got some security men to protect them against X-Men or Fulani or whatever, and he's paying them. So he was paying heavily for security, for guides, for this, and all those money are wasting already, because already promising 50% is failing. The highest you can you see, sometimes it's good not to even promise anything. It's good to be like, okay, look, you are going to take the risk with me. If it's okay with you, then we go in together, rather than say, bring your money, I will give you this. Because most times we don't see, you cannot predict climates. You cannot predict the rainfall. You cannot predict the sunlight. You cannot predict the pests and diseases that will come. You cannot predict so many things on the farm. So farmers, see, in saner countries, farmers are given a special advantage, so that, and when they are getting loans or grants or anything, they spread it over like 5 years or 6 years pay. In those period of 5 years, they will have been able to recover, because they've learned. And I learned in saner country again, they don't allow you to go into the farm unless you've gone through a technical schools for production. You've gone through a system before. Unlike here, where, okay, I have 10,000 naira, or since I have 100 million naira, I'm going to the farm. That's why we're having a lot of failed farms. I hope I'm not rushing too much. Actually, I intend to come and rant about the fuel scarcity, how it's affecting us farmers on the farm, and how we spend money, and at the end of the day, the food crops and everything still go down at the same price. I don't know if I'm making sense. So I'm just, and then I shift to analyzing HO corn. See, people like, so when people come and say, come and invest in this project, especially farm, you cannot predict what will happen. You cannot really predict what is coming out from the farm. Exactly. And so it's only, see, I'm not saying farming is not good. Honestly, there's a lot of, let me give you an instance. There are some times you plant, you put just a seed into the soil and you get times 100 of that seed. But believe me, what of those times when you put that same seed into the soil and you are not getting anything? So that is why investing in agriculture is risky and is a risk, but sometimes it's worth the risk, especially with somebody that have gone through the experience over and over again. You know, so and that's why I'm trying to analyze the guy. I learned the guy is on the run. I think he ran away. This is where I got whatever now. I feel for him because of the running away. And honestly, I've been there. You said it. I've been there. I've messed up project that, as I speak with you, some people will be threatening you. I can understand what is going through. They will threaten you. Phones. If you dare write anything online, they will come there. Not that they will abuse you, they will come and remind you are owing me. They will just say I, or just drop something to let you know you are owing me. See, at some point I've considered suicide because I was owing people money that I invested on the farm. Because they don't want to know that, they don't want to hear that. But meanwhile, when you are sitting down like this, people come, can you farm for me? Can you do this for me? Right now, it is capital no for me. So, but believe me, like I said, it's there's nothing that doesn't have challenges. You have your own personal car and you are driving, you have an accident and the car is a write-off. But if you borrow your friend's car and you are riding and the car write-off, is a big problem. That's the difference with farming. If you go and do the farm yourself, and if you go and cultivate the farm process yourself, there's possibility you might even fail. There's possibility you might not get it right. But that one you will not shout. But if you give your money to somebody and somebody now come back and tell you the project failed, that's the biggest problem. So I'm still going back, I'm trying to analyze the HO guy, and like I said, he's on the run right now because I saw Kinikon, the way they said they are looking for him, they put it in papers, but honestly, if I were him, I would stay back. And I've been locked up. Yes, I've slept in this. I've been locked up by somebody that we did a project together, the goat project I did. I've been locked up because he said I scammed him. And I never scam, So, see, like I said, if you have been there, you will understand. But with understanding, with time, you learn to say, okay, let me go slow, or because Nigeria could be frustrating. Like what I'm explaining now. You have a project, you've collected money. Look, I will give you pepper. I have a project on my neck right now. We want to do a pepper project, and the calculation was by March now or April, we should be harvesting. But unfortunately, since January, we couldn't get farm workers. Secondly, now petrol challenges and everything. Now, if it were to be somebody that did not understand with the project, the person will have said, okay, lock her up. She's holding my money since she's not doing. How the project material are here, the drip irrigation, the mulching film, the pumping machine, everything we need to use to run the farm is ready right here. But we cannot do anything, one, because there's no farm workers. Two, now the fuel scarcity, because we are running with petrol. And the calculation, the projection for the project is by April we should be harvesting. But this is March. We've not even planted. Let me even give you part of the seed we bought. I nursed in January. I nursed the seed because if you are planning a project like that, you have to do nursery and everything. So I did some nursery in January, hoping before the farm workers will come by ending of January and we should start work. January they did not come. And nursery means I'll go there every day to go and put water. When I could not go, I was paying somebody to go and wet it for me morning and evening. At some stage, I didn't even tell the guy, I just stopped going. As I'm speaking with you, I have not gone there, and I know the guy has stopped wetting. So it means that seed is spoiled, is gone. Imagine if it was an investment of, okay, get 20,000, give me 50,000. I'm in debt. I'm in serious debt. Because and then if it was an investment of give me 20,000, I will give you 100,000. One, I've wasted the seed that I nursed in January. They will not understand that the farm workers is not coming. They will not understand that I cannot be the one making the bets. They will not understand, but all they want to know is, you told me 6 months after you give me my investment. That's one. Secondly, again, if it were to be an investment, you know, understand, I've been paying somebody to wet the nursery, to take care of the place, and yet nothing is coming. The seed is gone. The seed, I spend on the seed, I spend on the wetting, I spend on so many things, and they are gone. So now, if the boys come, we still have to start afresh. This is the system we find ourselves. And so, but if we are not telling people outside this, if we are not telling people this is the way the situation works, people will not know. Like, I won't be surprised. Let's just give them like 2 months, 3 months. You start seeing people coming again with investment, or people investing in anything. Agriculture is not abracadabra. We face a lot of challenges. Like I said, it were to be some other countries where agriculture is given a priority, who have machineries instead of waiting for farm workers. If you notice from my page of recent, I've been talking a lot about machineries, about farm workers, about tools, about so many things, because I know that is where the problem is. Now, when I come up with all those kind of suggestions and everything, I'm not expecting people to expect me to do it. I'm just a farmer, for Christ's sake. So I expect, if I'm putting it out, people out there should pick 1 or 2 from it and go and build on it. Not saying, okay, the next thing you see, people start flooding my emails, they start sending me messages, or start, you know, I can't do everything alone. That the fact that a thought come to me doesn't mean I have to be the one to execute it, you know. But I need to share. Maybe somebody will take a key from there and be able to develop something. So what I'm saying is, it's frustrating being a farmer in Nigeria. But honestly, it's productive if you have all the materials you need. Like, for instance, like, I'm already planning. According for the machineries issue, I try to do the machineries, but if I cannot do the machineries, I'm planning. It means this year, unfailingly, I have to go to Burkina Faso. To go to Burkina Faso, to go and familiarize myself with the boys that used to come. I even want to go and open an account for my farm worker, one of my senior farm worker in Burkina Faso. As I'm speaking with you now, I spoke with them about 3 days ago. They said they don't have money to travel. Assuming they have an account there, it's easy for me to transfer money to them and say, okay, start coming. But right now, as I speak with you, they don't have money. I told them to go and borrow money or look for somebody that will bring them, or anyway. So what I'm saying, and that is just a temporary solution. Temporary. When I say temporary, because how long do I want to keep going to Burkina Faso to go and find farm workers? So after the temporary solution, the second one the other solution that will be permanent is farm tools. Like, I wrote about farm tools on my timeline, and everybody was like, I will form a group, we'll do this. Personally, this is what I'm planning to do. I plan to look for, I've been trying, the welders in my place that I asked to fabricate farm tools for me, they don't want to stress their brain. They are non-literate, I understand. They don't want to stress their brain, they don't want you to stress them, they just want to do what they have been used to. So what I'll still look around for, I've met about 3 or 4 of them. One even say I have plenty work. Meanwhile, it's not true. You see him sitting down under the tree, gisting. Because I've shown him the pictures of some of the things I want to, he cannot do it. So it's better for me now to look for a young person that I'll be able to, maybe, I don't even know, honestly. But like I told you, I'm still looking for solution. Now, I'm still going back to the HO guy and some other guys that are doing agricultural investment. See, just like the way I got into Agric, they've never planted before. They've never even planted 1 acre. They only read on internet. Read. And like I keep saying, most people that write online are bloggers. You know what bloggers do? They want to keep tractions. They want to keep more people coming to their timeline. They want to keep more to have population so that the internet will pay them. So what they do is they look for stories, find stories, tweet story. You know something? Whenever I write something on my timeline, even my Facebook alone, people will copy it and go and put it on their blog. I see it. I will just Google my name sometimes, Yinka Adeshola, and I'll start seeing what I've written on people's blog. I'll be surprised because I only put it on my Facebook page. In most cases, candidly, most of them used to acknowledge me. Some will not. Some will acknowledge, some will not acknowledge. But my other one is that, okay, now you now come online. And some of them are good. They frame it in a way. You come online, you are looking for something related to that same topic. The moment you Google it, it will not bring my Facebook for you, where I wrote it intentionally. It will bring blogs. For those people that are bloggers, that they just copied and put it there, it will bring their blogs for you. And when Okay. And somebody say, honestly, you are not far from the truth. Yes, and it will bring their blogs for you. And when you get their blogs, you follow the system and it failed because it's not from the person that actually wrote it. And maybe if you have got in touch with the person that wrote it, you will be able to ask more questions and say, okay, how do you do this? How do you get there? Okay, is it possible? Is this possible? And like the first instance I said before, people don't want to hear about failing. Like the HO con, if not me that is analyzing it, everybody is calling him a scammer. Like I said, I don't know him from anywhere. I've never spoken to him. I don't have his contact. I don't know anything. I even criticized him when he came online. As in, I criticized that post. But you know, then it was ahead. There's no way he can get in touch with me or I can get in touch with him. So even if I get in touch with him that time, he will not listen to me because who are you? You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to explain to you guys is that sometimes most of them that eventually messed up investment are not scammers. I've been there. I've messed up people's money. We call it messed up, but it was not. It was an honest mistake, as in honest mistake in the way that it was an expectation for you. If I put this, I'll get this, I'll get that. But see, it took me years. This is my 8 or 9 years on the farm. Oh, let's say even 10 years now on the farm. Because you see, you now find out that okay, you have to do this and put this and put it. Do you know something? Rural farmers are farming with they are gamblers. Rural farmers are gamblers. Why did I call them gamblers? Do you know they've been using the same type of system they've been using for 100 years? Now, when you ask them, if you are close to a rural farmer and they want to be honest with you, sit down with them and ask them, are you guys making profit? You know what they will tell you? They will say they cannot decide. It is God that decides whether they will make profit or not. And that is gambling. Now, imagine you buy chemical, you buy seed, you buy this, buy everything that you are supposed to buy. And then when you buy everything, you put it into the farm. And then you are waiting to God. The remaining one now is only God. It's God that will fall rain. It's God that decides the rainwater that will grow that crops. It's God that decides the sun. It's God that decides so many things. But see, that's why I said they are gambling. In modern, in advanced countries, in other countries where they are planting, they are not 100% depend on God to take control of those things. One, they don't depend on God for rainfall. Two, they don't depend on God for all this. Yes, they depend on God for sunlight, but there's a way they moderate it. Like for the rainfall now, they use irrigation. You have to provide pumping water and bore. Like I said, I use borehole, but it was while I was in the system I realized borehole is expensive. Imagine I'm running 1 hectare and I'm using petrol of 90,000 or 120,000 in a month. How much is my gain going to be? And I'm planting pepper or tomato. How much? See, forget about the calculations they will give you. You get 20 tons, you get 30 tons. If you don't do the good system, I just do the issue of the seed to explain. If you don't do good agricultural practice, good system, you will not get the result. So forget it. So I realized, and I keep shouting to people, don't use borehole for commercial farming. It cannot work. But go and look for dam, go and look for, like go and look for dam, go and look for open surface water. Now the difference, if you are using borehole, you are going to put a submersible pump. Submersible pump is that, that pump we put, that long one, you put it in the borehole, and you need a generator. Definitely, there's no light, there's no electricity. So when you put the submersible, you are going to be maintaining the generator every year. When I buy a generator, they last for just 1 year or 9 months. So I buy a generator every year. That's outside the petrol money. So it took me time to sit down and say, oh boy, oh girl, you are just wasting money. Because what I'm planting is not justifying what I'm spending. So submersible pump is not economically viable for commercial purpose of production of anything, even no matter whatever price you want to sell. Assuming the price is stable, assuming the price is fixed, assuming the price is like okay, you have a price that okay, all year round you are selling your tomato 1,000 naira per kg, then you already can plan your fuel money. But it's not so in Nigeria. Sometimes you sell tomato 20 naira per kg. Sometimes you sell a whole 50 kg basket of tomato for 1,000 naira. The same basket as sometimes you sell it for 30,000 naira. So how do you plan your budget? How do you budget with that kind of fluctuation? Our market is not good. Our marketing system, there's no regulation of prices. It's not good. So farmers are lamenting. So if you are joining the system, you are coming, you need to find a way for your market. Let me give you an instance. I will talk about the market briefly before I stop this. Now, for instance, we have ShopRite. There's something ShopRite, PARS, and some other organizations have been able to break even with. You know what they did? They invest in cooling system. The first thing they did, they invest. It's a lot of investment. Like me, my friend, around May last year, almost a year now, I call people together and said, let's do a cooling system. Just the small cooling system, I was thinking with 1,500,000 we've completed. As I'm speaking with you, we've spent over 3 million and we are nowhere near the completion of the cooling system. Though my partner said it's 90-something% complete, but we don't have electricity to power it consistently. As in now, we still need to sort either solar or whatever. So by the time we couple that one, our money, you know, understand what I mean? Now, ShopRite and Co. No ShopRite can fix their home price because they have a cooling system. They've invested in a cooling system which is very expensive. They invest in that cooling system. It's expensive considering that we don't have electricity in Nigeria. I told you we just build one, but we cannot test it well because we are looking for 5 kVA generator that we use to test it or waiting for electricity to come, which is not coming. Okay, so now if you now, what ShopRite did is they have a space, and when they have this place, there's a cooling system so that when farmers bring fresh produce to them to come and sell, they just collect it, they buy in kgs, and they put it in their cooling system. And immediately they put it in their cooling system, it's preserved, it cannot get bad immediately. So they can afford to start putting it on shelf gradually. And then when you walk in, you buy it off their shelf at whatever price because it's not getting spoiled. They're just bringing it out from the cooling system gradually and they're selling. So they make their money from there. Unlike rural farmers, you join us in farming, somebody tells you, if you plant cucumber, you make 1 million. It's lying to you because it's possible. If you are lucky, it's by lucky because you'll be gambling. Now, let me tell you, you plant your own cucumber, you are not selling to, you are not fortunate to be able, ShopRite is not collecting from you to buy in kgs. So you took it to my 12 market. As they are taking the cucumber to my 12, other 1,000 farmers are also planting cucumber. So you all met in the market, and the moment they sell, the cucumber is plenty. Instead of the normal bag, a normal bag of 30 kg, a normal bag of 30 kg in my 12, sometimes you sell it 1,000 naira. Sometimes you throw it away. And sometimes you sell it 5,000, sometimes you sell it 6,000, sometimes 3,000. The price is not fixed. So it means if you plant 1 hectare of cucumber, you are not sure how much you will sell it. So you have to keep praying, which is wrong. Keep praying to say, okay, I pray the market will be good, which is not supposed to be so. What kind of business is that? That is why I told you my team are building a smaller cooling system so that we can cool our system there and sell in one. If you are selling one, normally, like I told you, you go to ShopRite, you buy expensively because they already invest in their expensive cooling system, which they were able to use to power it. So these are if you're instead, like I used to tell people, instead of you coming to join us in farming, don't come again. Invest in preservation method, invest in cooling system, invest in all those things. Those are where the money are. See, when we're doing that cooling system, I nearly become a beggar. You know the meaning of a beggar. There's hardly anybody I know on my Facebook timeline that will not say, please, can you invest in this project? And the answer I was getting is no, 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 no. Yeah. The answer I was getting, everybody, is no, no, no. And see, the intention with the cooling system is that, okay, if we build this cooling system, we have a network of farmers and they are bringing their vegetables. It means it cannot get spoiled. Like, you know why the price is coming down in Mile 12 or all the other places? Because they know as you bring it that day, if you did not finish selling it that day, you have to throw it away. Because if you say you are taking it back home, it's already deteriorating. Their vegetables, cucumber, tomatoes, whatever, they are already deteriorating. The farmer cannot take them back home again. So they are bad. But assuming the cooling system is there, just like the ShopRite one, you put it there, and it's from there you now be selling. You see, if I'm selling tomato to my customers that buy from me that know they eat organic, we sell to them at 500 and 700 per kg. Even depending on you understand. Meanwhile, if you get to my 12, I told you a 50 kg basket, you might sell it 2,000. So it's per lot that farmers are selling. And that's why year in, year out, people will run in and they will run out of Agric because they're not making money. That's why that, even if your crop production, see, we have 3 challenges in, we have 3 basic challenges in agriculture. 1, human resources. 2, your production system. And 3, your marketing. So maybe one of these days, or if I see, this is what I do. People said I should tell them when I'm coming online. When things come to me, see, I've been less busy nowadays. Let me tell you why. Because my farm workers are not yet here. Because it's like I'm just doing nothing, and that's why it seems I just start doing all this and all this to keep myself busy. I do a lot of work online to keep myself busy and everything. And so let me see. I may discuss the 3 things. Like I don't fix time for coming online, because when you fix time, people feel whatever. So if I come online, if you read it, or if you see any of my videos flying around, you can just go over. You know, it's something. You know, I will not be coming here to laugh or jokes or whatever. So thank you for watching. And so I'll go away for some time. I may come back. I may, you know, like you can see me sweaty. We don't have light. We are managing the little. In my community, we normally don't have light, but you know, we survive with petrol, but now there's even no petrol. So we are managing with the little resources we have. So for now, I'll just go away and see. Maybe I may come back, not today, possibly, but I'm not sure. So thank you for watching.